Hello and welcome folks, BullBrew.com here, bringing you the matchup between Modern Affinity and Modern Grixis Delver. These are our powerful masterpieces for this season of Premier level competitive events. And while play shuffling, I would just like to note that there's nothing insane going on in the deck list of either of the deck. Basically, the Affinity is pretty much a stock list, as well as the Grixis Delva. Nothing insane, except that there was some sideboard choices which were as good as pretty much all of the alternatives. Even though my teammate with the Grixis Delva on the right, he's been experimenting a little bit with the deck list, but there was only one Modern Open for him to play, and unfortunately things didn't go the right way for him. There was some bummer moments during that tournament this past weekend. But the deck list which we were using here was pretty much a general list for Grixis Delva. So things that happened here already, Jaxo, Citadel and Naxxus from Affinity, who started the game first, Signal Pass in the Velden Jar to regenerate whatever. Meanwhile, Delva only had the Scoddington Crack for an Island and the Delgonton one. So, pretty fine development for Affinity deck, and Delva is not flipping blindly, not yet, to tax and probe for life. Showing Overseer, Galvanic Blast, Glimmer Void, and another Signal Pass. Not insanely dangerous hands, but not the worst. Then for the islands, Serum Visions, drawing the chorus, scrying, couple of top decks. I think both were bottomed. Then he's debating which land to play next. I think it was tapped Blood Creeps. Apparently he didn't have a spell for that cost and just passed the turn. For some reason not attacking, which is weird because he wouldn't be able to block either of the creatures. So attacked past with Inkmoth Naxxus, bringing him down to 4 poison. Now the Delva flipped of Colocan's command, I believe, untapped Water Grave, so taking 2 damage from there. And now preparing to, I suppose, block the Inkmoth Naxxus with the flip Delver. On the other hand, my friend with the Delver deck knew about the Galvanic Blast in the hand, and he just cast Edge Champion and then attack with 2 pests, which is sort of weird, I think. I'm not sure. I think Blast onto Delva and trying to close the game up with poison with Inkmoth was probably better plan. Instead, the Delva player just cast Electroelastic with both Signal Pass and drawing a card. As champion is online regardless thanks to Jar and Darksteel Citadel. Main phase was cover, trying to dig for some action or some answers. Polluted Delta, Now it made sense to attack, because you can't block Edge Champion pretty much regardless. Sorry for this re-establishment of the angle and the camera. I just wanted a better way to showcase the full board position. Save a fourth land in the form of just an island of a polluted delta. Then tapping the water grave to cast Gourmet Angler. Removing Tessachi's, couple of Visions, Scour, and another Scour. So you have Electrolyzed and I think it was another land. And pass the turn. So still Overseer, just to make sure that nothing crazy would happen with the Edge Champion. At worst, there is a Veldin Jar to regenerate Edge Champion. But the game kinda shifted in a not sweet way. So he animated Ink Moth here. I mean, one of my friends with the Affinity. Weird. So he animated Ink Moth but then decided to cast a drum. That's weird. Ah, yeah, well. Wait a sec. No, he cast a Seer and then instead of animating Nexus, cast a drum so that he would have mana to animate Nexus and block, and still no attacks while in the racing position. I don't understand that. That's just weird. I don't think he had the. He needed to play so defensively. Ah, okay, that's alright. So blocking the Edge Champion with Edge Champion on the Angler, and attempting to blast the Flip Delva. Remand is a response to that. That's so strange. In that case, like, he should have tapped an Nexus so that he would have an access to another colored mana and cast it for Remand, so that he could cast it back. And keeping up, yeah, that's just weird. Okay, not really playing around a lot of answers from Delver here. Well, he didn't lose much, but he didn't get what he wanted from that kind of play. Okay, animate a Nexus, then activate Seer to put counters on all guys. And the Overseer itself, so that's a Overlook. So not a big one. Cut on the Nexus, responding second jar to regenerate the Nexus. So, and because the regenerates removes it from combat, so no poison damage. And just second main phase cast another still Overseer. And that's just crazy. Both Overseers would have had each a counter by now, if this turn was played correctly. So I really don't get it. What was the thought process in the head? Well, here it's simple, just attack with the Delver trying to race, and it's a Champion and Angler stare down. Now it's a Gale Blast on the Delver. So there were 2 Gale Blasts, each were for 4 damage. So I think it was a better chance to beat down and Blast to face instead of trying to kill Delver. I think that was a better plan, because Poison Plan wasn't really working out, and there was always a chance to just keep up Nexus and try to trade with the Delver this way. So that line of plays during those few several turns was probably better. And the Delver player just passed the turn before with just playing a Pyromancer and having 3 mana up. And not much going on from Affinity. I mean, really, he needed to go beat down like long time ago, I think. He's playing way too defensively. And now it's wrecked time with Kolaghan's Command killing an Nexus and probably bringing back something or shocking some of the guys. So instead of bringing back Delver, he decided to just shock away Overseer, which wasn't supposed to be shocked if played correctly, so it should have been 3 toughness or more. Token from Pyromancer is not a big deal here, but dealing with the Inkmoth Nexus was pretty big. So yeah, definitely some over elixir Affinity here. Now it's a stare down, which shouldn't have been a stare down. I think the longer the game goes, the more advantage the Delver deck is. I think it's much better at longer attrition games. So stretching out the game is not what the Affinity deck should be looking for. And now Tessigur joins the party. That means some action should be made to kind of trying to raise. So the dice we're indicating a number 4 here is about the poison counters on the Delver player from the Nexus. So activating Overseer. Before that he played Ornithopter, and Champion is now really threatening to close out the game. Only 1 blocker, however, with 3 toughness. And then the choices are to give back Mana Leak or Kolaghan's Command after Tessigur has been activated at the end of the turn. Of course the choice is Mana Leak because Kolaghan's Command is the nut butters in this matchup. And then some calculations to be made. Opponent at 14 trying to mill something to save the game. Almost stepped out except for Blood Crypt and didn't get anything from the visions and scoops it up. And because next turn Champion just goes all the distance. So sideboarding here. I know it wasn't yet sideboarding, right? I think it was just 1 extra game with main decks. So no sideboarding yet. And game 1 is still important, even though like for most of the decks in Modern, game 2s and 3s are very tough for Affinity. So it's really big to win game 1 and then try to basically grind out or draw the nuts in either game 2 or game 3. Not super quick start from Affinity. Playing both next into Signal Pest and Ornithopter, but it's still a okay start. Just Delta for untapped Steam Vans from the Delver player. And nothing much else. Except for Volver Pest. So just basically maximizing the mana efficiency, especially since there was Yanpermancer plus Gitaxian Probe on turn 2, showing, I think it was a pair of champions, another Blank Moth and the Fogcast, passing the turn there. So one token's been made. Unless something really sweet has been drawn, it's just another Nexus and pass. Well, that's also a line. Just driving for 1 extra damage while opponent is at 15 thanks to Fat, Shotgun and Probe, so down to 14. But Delver decks really use life total as a resource, and as long as they can control the board presence and board states and have some answers in hand, they can really go very low on life very quickly and reliably win because of all the action on board and all the answers in hand. Untapped Water Grave falling down to 12 and a Delver, and an attack for Affinity, pushing it down to 18. Should be, yeah, pushing down to 18 because the token was blocked and the Yanpermancer wasn't. Vapor Snag on the Ornithopter, down to 17. Delver didn't play, but while there was not much going on from Affinity player, Delver deck just went really bananas, bouncing everything and casting Angler. Glimmer Void died because there were no artifacts at the end of the turn. Ornithopter, Overseer, and just pass of the turn. Really in a bad shape. Okay, Delver did flip this time off of Flotscour, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Flotscour. Flotscour is cast. Making a token. Mailing, I think, a land and the commands. A lot of tokens to basically now start racing. Of course, the Empyro is not attacking, but Angler is definitely attacking, and the tokens as well. Top tier is blocking one of the tokens. Affinity player down to just 2 life, and there is pretty much nothing that can get this game done for Affinity. So, quick scoop. After that, and now preparing for sideboarding. Affinity deck obviously cannot bring in way too many cards, but Delver deck can and should. So that's the boarding. 2 Vandal Blast is a static caster, Anger of the Gods, which could easily be Engineered Explosives or any other sweeper of choice, but those are the 2 main ones. One Remand out, 1 Tasigur and 2 Anglers out, because they're just not that great in the matchup. They help you to beat down, but you would much rather to have that huge package of removal. We play Illness in the ranks for the Paramancer tokens, 2 spell skies in, and a bunch of one-offs: Get Out, Footcast, 1 Mem Knight, 1 Ravager, 1 Past, 1 Overseer. Something like that. So onto the post-Cyber games. Where Affinity deck should really have very tempo-ish draws in order to be able to win at least one of those post-Cyber games. Because there is so much removal in the Delver deck. So basically it's a fine matchup even before sideboarding, and especially good after sideboarding. It's a little close, so it's probably not like 70-30 after sideboarding. Well, probably something like 70-30% for Delver after sideboarding, but I think actually something like at least 55-45 in game 1 for Delver. Because main deck Colgan's commands and bolts and good beatdowns really help. Inkmoth into Past and Ornithopter once again from Affinity, and just Probe and the Mire from Delver. Darksteel Citadel, Overseer, pretty nice curve. Bashing basically just for 1 with the Topter, acceptable for Delver. Delver is going down to 14 here because of the fetch plus the Shockland to bolt the Overseer, which could spell a lot of trouble for the Delver player. Passing up the turn, draw a card for the turn, Swamp, and pass. Untap skis, draw. Another Citadel, a Memnite, and the Ravager. Pretty good deal. A little pause here to consider the options. Flashing and Anger of the Gods. So in response to Ravager, a bolt was cast to kill off the Signal Pest, which meant no damage that turn for Delver. Drawing. Snapcaster for Probe for life. I think it was Weak Flare in hand. So no third land, which is pretty annoying. Sound blocker, but not a very good one. So ignore the dice next to the life pad. So one poison counter. And another Inkmoth Nexus. Draw. Still no second land, passing the turn. Animating both Nexuses, well, I mean Nexi. 2 more poison, total 3 counters. Passing the turn, draw. Blinkmoth Nexus joined the party. So now he could just attack with 1 and pump it. In case Delver would draw a third land to represent Electrolyte. Vandal Blast for Ravager. And some mistakes would be made. Just a counter for Ornithopter, while it should have been a counter on one of the Inkmoth Nexi. So that's another overlook. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to put it on the Ornithopter. So draw for the turn. Animating both Nexi here. And attacking also with the Ornithopter. Because why not playing another Nexus? That looks weird. Why not to play it before combat and pump one of your Nexi? I don't get it. It's 1 more poison damage. There's 3 of them there, so if the opponent kills 1 of them, it's not a big loss. Just strange. Still no third lands, yet still somehow in the game. Animating all Nexi. Vapor snagging 1. And taking 2 more poison. Up to 7 counters total. Replay on the lands. Still no third nano. Again, same thing. Bolting one of the Nexi. Going up to 9. Still not dead. So finally it's a third land. So that 1 extra poison counter was so crucial. Delver deck would be dead by now. Poisoned and dead. Activating just 1 Nexi because 1 is little. Though I really prefer to attack with both, because this way he just killed 1 and with a Snapcaster Bolt. Plating was cast. So, well, you get to learn from those mistakes and laugh at them as well. Yeah, I don't really see why not to attack with both. Okay, this plays around Electrolyze, but I think he had so much mana open. And there is only one Electrolyze in the deck, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, Kolga's commands, wrecking the situation, destroying plating, shocking away the next eye. Oh gosh. Okay, another plating. Whatever. So that's a very miraculous comeback from Delver, which wasn't supposed to happen at all. Scald Fairyland number 4. Just casting a Delver. 2 snaps on D. Casting that 1/1 lightning guy. I forget the Scourge. I often forget the name. Okay, attacking with the flyer with the plating. And that's plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or what is it, 8? It's not exactly little. First Snapcaster. Flashback in another bolt. I think. Or what was it? I don't get it. Yeah. Just flashback in another bolt. Right. Even though I know the end results, but it's really unclear who actually can win the game here. But flip Delver off the Kolga's commands for the Delver player. Attack with just 1 Snapcaster, because why not? Or maybe 2. Yeah, 2 is fine as well. Affinity down to 13. Equipping the Scourge. There needs to be some removal. Otherwise, yeah, just block with the Delver. And is it Staticaster? Yay! So maybe that wasn't command that was flipped, otherwise. I don't know. Anyways, Scourge is dead, equipping the Man Knight, but now nothing can really be done. Well, there are 2. Blink of next to now, but Staticaster keeps all of that in check, and now there's just pretty much nothing that Affinity deck can do. Just attacking with a couple of Snapcasters, but the writing is on the wall by now. The Affinity deck should have won that game, but somehow didn't want to. And played maybe a little bit too carefully or too defensively, I don't know. At 9 poison, the Delver deck is gonna seal the deal here. while being stuck on 2 lands for most of the game. Because there were 2 missed opportunities to deal 1 extra poison or infect damage or poison counter. Plating on one of the next side, but still not enough, even though there's 1 mana to pump it with another Naxos so that it wouldn't get killed by Electromancer, but you just trade with the Delver here with no regrets. And now Staticaster shoots down pretty much anything. Well, not exactly anything. Top tier with the plating could still do some stuff. A turn is passed. Top tier is equipped with the plating. Mem Knight is killed. Somehow no attacks. Well, what? Because that's also weird. He should try to raise here anyway. He wouldn't want to block Snapcasters at all. And now Vandal Blast just kills with plating. So that's also like a turn where he should have attacked with the top tier and plating. Because nothing was saying don't do that. Spellskite is counting with a Spell Snare. And then the play shows the Whip Flare and the Master of Ethereum, while the Delver has Remand and Call Against Commands. Okay, the last, I believe, post-Cyber game. Or maybe not. Right, just a mulligan because of the hand is 2 opals, 2 citadels and expensive spells. And I'm actually not sure whether that hand should have been mulliganed. Oh no, it was just shown from the Texan probe, right. I'm sorry for that. Right, Citadel into Scourge into Mox Opal. And the turn fetch for Shockland into Bolt. Down to 15. That's alright. Untapped Watergrave. Dark Soul Citadel. Mem Knight. Tap in the ability to cast Floodcast for 1 mana. It gets countered by Mana Leak. Tapping 2, and it's Cranial Plating. Swamp off the top as a 3rd land for Delver. Mem Knight gets a plating. 3 mana Ravager. In response, Staticaster shooting down the Mem Knight. That's alright. Still weird sequencing. Staticaster main phase, shooting down Ravager with no other artifact creatures in play, so modular is wasted. Untapped Water Grave and pass, and then another Ravager. Draw island, equip. In order to save the Ravager, a Moxapel was previously sacrificed. Then another one is cast. Overseer. It's strange to cast Overseer here, actually. Snapbolt attempts to take care of the Overseer. Oh, not Overseer, Ravager, end of turn. So that kind of spells trouble for Affinity. If the Delver player does that, that means he has some other removal in hand for the Overseer, in case Ravager would be sacrificed and Overseer gets some counters from him. Even though that looks a little strange, but the Affinity player should smell that something annoying is up to happen next. Well, obviously here you sacrifice Ravager to put counters on the Overseer. Overseer gets a couple of counters as expected. Pass another turn, draw. So bolt for the Overseer. Attack with a Snapcaster. Another plating, with no creatures to get him equipped. Kraken Delta, they're probably an island. Yes, it's an island. Tapping out for overloaded Standout Blast. Attacking with the Snapcaster. Just a signal pass which will get killed by the Staticaster. So from this point there's again almost nothing that could save the Delver deck, save the Affinity player, because all X1s are pretty much dead, of which there are quite a few. Casting Delver, attacking with Snapcaster. Just a Glimmer Void. Delver didn't flip this attack for 3. Offense is at 7. Just a drum, but offensive player has seen enough. On to the next post-cyber game. So yeah, after seeing quite a few of those, it's really strange for me to see so many Grixis Delver. Well, I'm not super surprised to see so many Grixis online on Magic Online or Moto, but I'm still surprised to see so many Affinity decks doing fine on Magic Online, despite all the hate and despite the fact that Kolgan's command is ridiculous. I think one of the big columnists kind of spotted that fact, but I don't remember exactly what was the reasoning. I think just because Affinity can just wreck you out of nowhere if you just don't draw that ultimate hate card. or something like that, or because it's still good against many of the decks. So Inkmoth Maxi and Veldinger from Affinity, and just an island from Delver. Darksteel Citadel, Plaything, which gets countered by Spellsnare. Expected. Sulphur Falls. And the Pyromancer. Sulphur Falls is definitely a fine land, but I definitely wouldn't play more than one of in the deck. For land that's Blinkmouth, just a Signal Pest. Smashing for... oh no, not smashing, just casting Seer. Indulgent Jar is pretty nice. Save Cushion for Affinity here. But Affinity needs really to draw some actions. Serum Visions. Draw Scry, that's up 2. One top, one bottom. Falls, taps, to cast spell to get rid of the Overseer. Third land, another Visions. It's for the Elemental. Be cautious, guys, to first get a token and then resolve your spells. We have the Pyromancer in play. I think it was one top, one bottom. Not sure. Maybe two to the bottom from the Scry. Now you can safely attack with the Pyromancer and the not so sick token. Now the situation looks kinda green for Affinity. Something like a Weak Flare is definitely needed to stabilize the board. Draw. Let's continue here. So Drama is kinda nice because it allows the Affinity to cast all sorts of spells. Inkmoth going to the red zone. Signal Pest for some reason is not attacking, which is sort of weird. Ah, now I get it. Because it was needed to cast the Weak Flare and get mana from by tapping the creature. But the problem is, like, you didn't have that second mana there. But he would have it if he didn't attack with the Nexus, but the Delver's hand was pretty brutal anyway. So even though if Weak Flare would have been cast correctly, Affinity player wouldn't be in a very great shape anyway. So it was kind of a shame scoop, but yeah, emotions sometimes getting in the way. And now I get in for one trial game for the matchup. I have played with Affinity before, but not against Grixis Delver in Modern. I just wanted to try it out and give some breathing room for the friend who's been playing it for most of the video. Apparently he just sort of ran out of steam or got kinda exhausted or something in the end. And I was still fresh, I was just watching them play, but I wanted to step in and get one quick game for myself. And for some stupid karmic reason I got the Nut Butters. Inkmoth into Double Ornithopter and Moxapel, so that's 2 mana, and cast a Spellscape. So just showing who is the boss. Okay, down to 18, just a delver from Grixis player. Two mana into pool, plating, another Mox Opal to get that 1 mana to equip the top tier. Spellscat's really, as it turns out, destroying the whole game plan for Grixis here. So attack for a bunch, Delver down to 13. Okay, the actual Delver Secrets got flipped from Footcower. Land number 2 of the Bloodstained Mire. That means more damage, well, at least 1 more. So down to 12. Get in the swamp. Just again Permancer and the probe. Down 10. Making a token. And that's a Master of Ethereum. He will probably trade here with the Delver, with my Ornithopter. So that's not that cool. But I guess that's what I have to do. I drew Darksteel Citadel in order to be able to cast a Master, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already. And I have a Spellscat out, which is probably the biggest thing ever. So there is a chance with so many Grixis decks around, defense deck would have to keep like 2 Spellscats on the board, in the sideboard no matter what. Because it helps so much in this matchup. Yeah, and what's covered in the review, I think. So thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe until the next sale.